Guys, all right. Today I want to go over the right natural conversation. More specifically, what is the right natural conversation? All right. If you haven't been in the game for a long time and about just not really being in the mood to really just talking to people, it can really be frustrating to just bring yourself just to talk to people because like you haven't done it in like weeks or months. All right. It does happen. But I want to go over three things that is really going to be beneficial to really bring out the natural conversation within you guys. All right. So the first one is intentionality, being intentional. You have to physically say why you are talking to them in the first place. Imagine you just at a bus stop or at a library or anywhere else, and all of a sudden a random person came up to you and just talked to you about the weather, a sports team on the other side of the world, unrelated things. How would you personally feel about that? A lot of people would say to themselves, "Man, how long is this going to take? Where's this going? Like, it's not really relevant to me. Not relevant to what I'm doing right now. Maybe I should just tell them to leave for a little bit." Yeah. So what I like to personally do is come up to them and say, "Hey," and ask for their opinion real quick about something. "Hey, I have an opinion about something real quick. I noticed that so and so is like this. What do you think?" Or like, "Hey, it just so happens that you're wearing the same hat that I'm wearing. I'm from this side of the city too." You have to verbally say why you are interacting with them in the first place. Okay. People are not dumb, guys. They can sniff out bullshit. If you're willing to just say random things and just saying things out of context, hopefully trying to get them to reciprocate the same thing in return, they're not going to do it. People don't respect indirectness. They don't respect indirect context, guys. All right, so that's something that you should really look within yourself whenever you want to connect with someone and talk to someone. Is about being intentional. All right, the second thing, relax. All right, or more specifically, a relaxed state from you. People are interconnectedly affected with one another. What I mean by that is that if you're really hyper and really nervous, the other individual that you're interacting with, it's going to affect them. Now they're nervous and they're going to be really like in a state of shock because all of a sudden they're really nervous and they don't know why because you're really nervous, right? I remember a long time ago that it was much a long time ago. I was interacting with people, specifically pickup than anything else. I was trying to pretty much bring myself to say hi to a girl, and I was like, eventually I built up courage to do it. Okay, I built up and say, "Hey, how's it going?" I approached her, talked to her. "Hey, how's it going? My name is so and so. What's your name?" Everything went right and the interaction was right, but the thing is, I was really nervous, so it kind of affected her too. So that really changes the whole dynamic, which goes to shows it relates with people in general. If you're if you're if you're saying all the right things, uh, if you're being intentional but you're really nervous, it can have an inverse effect on the interaction, and it can really go south right away. So that's something that you should really consider about yourself. Well, really keep practicing. The more you keep practice, the more you get better, and really the more you can be more relaxed about it. Otherwise, if it's a first time, then usually it's gonna happen. Then you can be nervous and be like, "Oh man," or hyperactive. Like me, I'm very eager because I like to learn about new things. I'm really curious, like intentionally curious. So it's gonna happen the first time you go about it, but eventually down the line, you're gonna be a little bit more relaxed, and you're able to get the better feel of the conversation. That affects the other individual, and they're gonna be like, "All right, cool." Like they're gonna be in a state of balance because you're in a better balance of being less you're less emotional, you're more relaxed, so they are as relaxed. All right. The third one is the premise just trust, or building upon the premise of trust. The idea is that in a natural conversations there is a mutual understanding, and it can happen really quick, and the other person can pick up real quick that, "Oh, okay, I understand what the general aspect of this conversation is going. I understand where our relationship is going." it is a multivariable of things from pretty much from not for anything that's not as mentioned. It could be the way you look. It could be where you guys are at. A bunch of social elements, right? And it leads to this mutual understanding. Now, which goes to show, what does it mean? Well, it means that you're gonna have to build trust with them, and usually when you talk to just random people and you work your way building to deeper things. So just asking, be curious about them, asking questions, and really getting to learn a little bit more about them. The premise of trust builds upon that, and so the premise of trust is further established and it's much quicker, which is a really good thing. Now, oftentimes, all these three things, intentional, being relaxed, and premise of trust, it can be overwhelming if you really, really new to really just want to pick up on the natural conversations. So, which brings the bonus, the fourth thing, all right? It's not a principle, more or less, it's an advice. I want to say this, the reason you are holding back from what you want to say is because you're going over a bunch of scenarios in your head about the repercussions, what will they think of me, what am I going to think about myself, what are my other friends are going to think about me, what the strangers are going to think about me, what if I'm not XYZ so-and-so, right? What if I botched it really bad, right? Valid emotions, all right? Very, very valid. But come to think of it, part of what's keeping you safe is preventing you from being intentional. Yeah, guys, that's part of yourself that you're gonna have to look into. Because I can remember from experience that part of me, what's keeping me safe, keeps me from being as intentional as I should. And I had a long battle with that. Eventually, I overcame that, and because I knew I had to. All right. So that's the fourth bonus one, and that's the fourth bonus one. You definitely want to be as intentional as you can, because otherwise you're gonna keep on holding yourself back. All right. And those doubts that's in your head of insecurities, all those bad negative thoughts. I had one advice from my a speech therapist from a long time ago mentioned that, hey, she gave me great advice, is that, hey, whenever you have those thoughts of those negative thoughts, imagine it came from the most disgusting animated character, or just most disgusting, most disturbing person from TV. And I imagine Oscar the Grouch. So whenever I have insecurities or self-doubts, I imagine that as Oscar the Grouch saying that, and that pisses me off. And I tell him I want and I don't like Oscar the Grouch that much, and I think that just the fact that Oscar the Grouch is telling me that I can't do something because of so and so, riles me up, and I want to prove him wrong. All right. So that's the fourth thing I want to leave you guys. So we'll go over. So we have went over being intentional in the conversation, being relaxed in the conversation, building the premise of trust in the conversation, and the fourth bonus, really, that understanding that you are trying to keep yourself safe in all aspects of life, but that's preventing you from being intentional, and more specifically trying to be you in conversation with others. So those are three, if not the four things. Have a good one, guys.